The level of uncertainty which lingers in every breath we take, every surface we touch, and every person we meet is one most of us have never experienced before. They say it's times like this where we truly begin to appreciate the normal lives that we live, even though as we go through them, they seem almost monotonous. But here we are now, living the exact definition of a monotonous life, wishing for nothing but for things to go back to the way that they were. Some of us wake up early to watch the sunrise and maybe take a hike, walk our dogs, because at least Gavin Newsom says that's legal. Others of us sleep through the entire day only to wake up and relentlessly twiddle our thumbs on our screens, scrolling through repetitive feeds on Instagram and Twitter. A lot of us feel as though we have lost purpose. That includes me. More than the issue of boredom and insanity over dealing with my parents' constant nagging, however, what this pandemic has taken away from me is the few months I've spent my entire K-12 education working towards. Don't get me wrong, I understand the severity of this issue, sick patients, loss of lives, overworked healthcare staff, and so much more. But I also understand that I'm entitled to being quite frankly pissed off that my senior year has come to an end. Just like that, it's over. Senior year, everyone told me that these memories would last a lifetime, and everyone told me that these moments would disappear within the blink of an eye. I don't think they meant it quite like this, though. I, alongside many others, expected so much more. We expected countless more memories, and we expected to spend the month of March together. We wanted to celebrate each other's acceptances and cry together about our rejections to the schools we've worked our entire lives to appeal to. We've stared at the slow-moving hands on clocks during boring class lectures, anxiously waiting for the bell, knowing in the back of our minds that this would all be worth it. We thought it would be worth it because we thought that we were just counting down the days to some of our most momentous occasions. We bought our dresses and tuxedos one last time for a senior prom. We couldn't wait to pick up a pen and sign our names on the flags, indicating our plans for the next 4 years. We sized our caps and gowns, practicing our smiles and handshakes in the mirror every night for when we received the folded slip of paper, awarding us for every all-nighter, every heartbreak, every good and bad grade, and every friend we made along the way. I've spent the past week shedding tears and constantly complaining about everything we're about to miss on. I wanted to take this moment to cherish everything that the class of 2020 has been blessed with together. Here are some of the first few pictures I took this year at senior sunrise. We woke up extremely early this morning, and we even wrote ourselves letters and brought back pictures to bury in time capsules. This moment felt like a segue into something, but I couldn't quite figure out the destination, even if it were to be temporary. Our minds unlatched a few hooks from the extreme levels of stress that we were tightly screwed onto for the past few years. We were ready for the best year yet. I'm still thankful though, at least we experienced more than half the year. Rallies, homecomings, somewhat more freedom after school because our teachers knew we were stressed out with college applications. That in and of itself was an experience I wouldn't trade for anything. I love writing those apps, piecing together and reminiscing every significant one of my milestones, ones that were unique to me. I spent days and nights with my best friends hoping time would slow down because I just wasn't ready to leave it all behind. I think back to birthday celebrations because those were the last we'd have together. I met someone who gives me butterflies and who I've developed one of the most meaningful connections with, despite our differences. I think back to all the good food I ate shamelessly, knowing I was allowed to be set free for just these few months. Senior year, I completed some personal milestones as well. I got my license, which was probably the most exciting moment of all because I absolutely adore the thrill of driving with the windows rolled down and my favorite tunes blasting, whether I'm with my friends or all alone. I also turned 18, became a legal adult. I got a job and started pitching into family expenses, and I worked my ass off for applications to my dream schools, some of which I got into and others of which I didn't. I felt myself growing up, like I was in the middle of some sort of process, but for some reason, it felt like I wasn't done doing so. I felt as though it was rushed, like I wasn't ready for the process to come to an end. With the last few months of my year being taken away from me, I realize now more than ever how much I appreciated my 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. routine when dreading going to class with my incomplete assignments or fear to tackle tests that I didn't study for was the biggest challenge that I faced. Now, amongst the midst of great uncertainty, I wish for nothing more than a healthy population and rebuilt economies everywhere. Selfishly, however, I wish for my senior year to come back. No ending to this seems suitable enough because to me the journey just isn't over yet. So really it's not over and we aren't saying goodbye. The rest is still unwritten, so with optimism in place I say to be continued.